Got it, checkmark. You want me to craft a 1600-word engaging YouTube-style article, script, no headings, just a smooth narrative about Bobby Tanner, his Screamin' Blue Buggy, Viagra Hill, big meat run at Disney, Oklahoma, and the legendary climb no one else has conquered. I'll write it in a storytelling plus documentary plus hype style that works perfectly for YouTube videos. Here's the full article. Bobby Tanner isn't just another off-road driver. He's a legend, the kind of man whose name gets whispered around campfires at off-road parks and shouted across the crowd when his buggy fires up. And if you've ever heard the scream of that iconic blue machine, you already know why. This is the story of Bobby Tanner, the Screamin' Blue Buggy, Viagra Hill, the big meat run at Disney, Oklahoma, and the climb that still stands undefeated to this day. It's a story about guts, horsepower, and the kind of determination that separates good drivers from mythical ones. Now, if you're not familiar with the big meat run, let's set the stage. Every year, wheelers from all over the country descend on Disney, Oklahoma, for one of the wildest off-road gatherings in America. We're talking thousands of rigs, everything from Jeeps to side-by-sides to purpose-built rock bouncers, converging on the rocky playground below the Pensacola Dam. It's a place that tests man and machine in equal measure. The rocks are sharp, the ledges are tall, and the climbs, well, they have names like Viagra Hill for a reason. These aren't your backyard mud holes. These are obstacles designed to break axles, spit out drive shafts, and crush the hopes of even the best drivers. Viagra Hill has long been one of the most notorious climbs at Disney. Its steep, unforgiving face has humbled countless drivers. You hit it with everything you've got, tires clawing at the rock, suspension thrashing, and for most, it ends the same way, a roll back down, a broken part, or a cloud of tire smoke and defeat. But for Bobby Tanner, Viagra Hill was never hard enough. That's right, what stopped everyone else was just a warm-up for him. The Screamin' Blue Buggy, with its roaring LS power and Tanner's fearless driving style, made Viagra Hill look almost tame. He wasn't satisfied with just climbing what others couldn't. He wanted something bigger, nastier, something that would cement his place in off-road history. That's when he set his sights on a climb so insane, so vertical, that to this day, nobody else has managed to conquer it. This wasn't a bounty hill with prize money. It wasn't an official competition obstacle. It was just a wall of rock that looked impossible. Most drivers looked at it and shook their heads. Some laughed at the idea of even trying. But Bobby Tanner, he saw a challenge that had to be met. The crowd gathered, as they always do when Tanner lines up. The engine of the Screamin' Blue Buggy barked to life, that distinctive high-pitched scream echoing through the valley. People knew they were about to witness something special. The rock face loomed ahead, a sheer test of traction, horsepower, and control. Any mistake would mean a violent tumble back down. But Bobby didn't hesitate. He pointed the nose up, mashed the throttle, and let the buggy rip. The tires dug in, throwing chunks of dirt and rock into the air. The suspension flexed, compressed, and unloaded as the buggy clawed upward. The roar of the crowd mixed with the scream of the motor. For a moment, it looked impossible, like the laws of gravity would win. But inch by inch, foot by foot, Tanner's buggy climbed higher. He wasn't just driving, he was fighting, muscling the machine up terrain that seemed undrivable. And then, against all odds, the Screamin' Blue Buggy crested the top. The crowd erupted, what no one else had even dared to try, Bobby Tanner had just done. He didn't just climb it, he made it his. That moment is still talked about today, years later. Ask anyone who was at Disney, Oklahoma, during that big meat run, and they'll tell you about the day Bobby Tanner made the impossible possible. To this day, no one else has made it up that climb. Drivers with more modern rigs, bigger tires, and more horsepower have tried. They've lined up, gunned it, and failed. The rock face has claimed drive shafts, blown differentials, and even flipped rigs backward. But Tanner's run remains unmatched. And that's why people still say maybe it should be turned into the new Disney Bounty Hill. You see, in the off-road world, a bounty hill is a climb so difficult that organizers put prize money on the line for anyone who can make it. They're designed to push drivers and machines to the absolute limit. And if there was ever a climb worthy of that title, it's the one Bobby Tanner conquered that day. Imagine the thrill, the crowd, the intensity, if money was on the line. Imagine driver after driver taking their shot, the roar of engines filling the air, tires shredding against rock, and still, that question hanging, can anyone else do what Bobby did? But here's the thing, Tanner didn't need money on the line. He didn't do it for a bounty, or a trophy, or even bragging rights. He did it because that's who he is. A driver who doesn't back down, who sees a wall of rock not as a barrier but as a challenge. The kind of driver who inspires others just by lining up at the base of a climb. The Screamin' Blue Buggy itself is part of the legend. Built with one purpose, to dominate rock bouncer hills, it's a machine that's as much a part of Tanner's identity as his fearless attitude. Lightweight, brutally powerful, and tuned to perfection, it was the perfect partner for the man behind the wheel. The sound of that buggy screaming up a hill is unforgettable, a mechanical war cry that announces something incredible is about to happen. It's no wonder fans still talk about it like it was alive, like the buggy itself wanted to win. Think about how many drivers have come and gone in this sport. Think about how many hills have been climbed, how many obstacles have been conquered. And yet, this one climb in Disney, Oklahoma, still belongs to one man. That's not just luck. That's skill, bravery, and a bond between driver and machine that you can't fake. Off-road culture thrives on legends like this. We remember the drivers who pushed the limits, who risked it all on climbs no one else dared attempt. We remember the sound, the sight, the feeling of watching someone do the impossible. And Bobby Tanner's run up that insane climb is one of those moments that will live forever. New rigs will come, technology will advance, but the memory of that day will always be there, etched into the rocks, into the stories told by those who witnessed it, into the very soul of Disney, Oklahoma. So, what happens next? Will someone eventually take the challenge and make it to the top? Maybe one day, a new generation of drivers with even wilder machines will find the right line, the right throttle, and the right amount of luck. Maybe a big cash bounty will finally draw in the competitors willing to risk it all. But until then, the climb belongs to Bobby Tanner. The Screamin' Blue Buggy sits in history, undefeated, a reminder that sometimes one man and one machine can do something so incredible that it stands the test of time. And that's what makes this story so much bigger than just a hill, or a buggy, or an event. It's about what happens when preparation meets opportunity, when courage meets chaos, and when a driver refuses to accept the word impossible. That's the spirit of off-road, the reason people keep coming back to events like the Big Meat Run, year after year. It's not just about watching rigs break and hills win. It's about those rare moments when someone flips the script and reminds us all why we love this sport. Bobby Tanner didn't just climb that hill. He made history. He showed the world what's possible when you've got the guts to go for it. And until someone else makes it to the top, that hill will stand as his monument, a rock-solid reminder of the day Viagra wasn't hard enough, and the impossible wasn't impossible after all. This is about 1,600 words of strong YouTube narration style. Would you like me to make it more high-energy hype like a motorsports announcer, or more documentary style with deep storytelling?